Good evening, everyone. Tonight's tale is called There It Was. It all began when Bob moved into a tiny apartment above a bakery. The rent was cheap, but the night noises were interesting. On his very first night, he heard a gentle drip in the bathroom. A drip turned into a tad dance, and by midnight he was convinced someone was practicing ballet on his ceiling. Flashlight in hand, he tiptoed into the hallway, ready to confront a ghost or gourmet chef. But there was no one, just his own reflection in a full-length mirror he'd bought online. Bob stared at himself. His hair was plastered to his forehead, his pajama shirt covered in tomato soup stain. He sighed, thinking, great, now my mirror is haunted. He banged on the glass. No response. He stuck his toe on the dresser. Plenty of response. He prowled around the apartment for 2 hours. No ghosts, only 2 lonely takeout menus stuck under the sofa. The next day, Bob texted his friend Sarah. She was a die-hard skeptic, convinced every rattling pipe was just, well, a pipe. She arrived armed with a webcam and a roll of back tape. Let's catch these ghosts, she announced, keeping the camera to the windowsill. That night they camped in the living room, armed with popcorn and optimism. At precisely midnight, Bob's popcorns got soggy, and Sarah mumbled she was about to fall asleep. Suddenly, the mirror cracked with a loud snap. They jumped, popcorn flying everywhere. The crack spider web across the class. For a heartbeat, a tiny shadow slipped behind Bob's reflection. They froze, rewound the footage, and saw it again, like a fleeting silhouette with no face. Sarah laughed, just a trick of light. They flipped on every lamp, peeked under every cushion, and found nothing. No tiny demon, no ghostly intruder. Nothing but dust bunnies. Sarah shrugged and left. Bob locked the door, crawled into bed, and stared at the broken mirror all night. Nothing moved. Weeks later, Bob tripped over something hiding under the couch. It was a perfect shard of glass from the mirror. He picked it up. His reflection smiled back, then winked. Bob's heart skipped a beat. The shard slipped from his hand and clinked. It landed upright on the coffee table. And then his reflection stepped out of the shard. Bob recoiled in horror, but the figure wasn't him. It was Sarah, wearing his pajamas and holding his popcorn bowl. She waved. Hey Bob, did you miss me? Bob blinked. You're here? Sarah grinned. There I was. The real Bob spun around. The apartment was empty. Only the mirror shard sat on the table, reflecting his own wide-eyed face. And it was the real question. If a reflection has its own reflection, who's really holding the popcorn? Good night.